Well, y'all, I decided I might come out here and see if I could dig up some sweet potatoes, or at least see if we got any. So I thought I'd bring you with me. I don't know if we got any in here or not. Like I said, I've never planted sweet potatoes before. Let me get my gloves on. It's only 56 degrees today. And would you believe it, it's going to be like 60 tomorrow, and then the next day it's going to be up to 80. Crazy Texas weather. I mean, I'm not expecting to see any, but we'll see. Look, I got onions growing in here. Get all these sticks out and put in here to keep little Buddy out of it. This is the last one I planted, so I don't know if it's going to have any in it or not. And I've had an upset stomach all day. I mean, I felt nauseated all day, so I didn't really feel like doing anything. And I went to the store a little while ago and got me some Pepsi to drink to kind of settle my stomach a little bit. So let's see if I can dig anything up in here. I mean, I'm not expecting to see any. I've got onions or garlic. I don't know what that is. Let me bring the camera a little bit closer so you might be able to see what I'm digging. So far, I've not found a potato. I think maybe it's too wet in this tote to have a, and I can't bend this thing over anymore, I don't think. I'm not finding any potatoes. I feel something down in there, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, I'm not finding any potatoes in here. There's a bunch of leaves on the top. It's made some good dirt, though. It's going to be really good to plant something in the spring because it's all broken down. Not finding any. Of course, I'm not getting around to the very bottom either. But I think if there was any in the very bottom, they would have rotted because it's too wet. Yep, so I'm not finding any sweet potatoes, y'all. Not in this one anyway. Nope, not in this one. I'm not finding a one. So unless they're in the extreme bottom, which I doubt. I mean, I would have thought there would have been a couple up close to the top. Well, let's go over here to another one. Like I said, if there's any in there, they're in the very bottom, which I don't think they are, because like 1 inch from the bottom, there's nothing but, I mean, it's too wet. And if there was any potatoes down there, they would have rotted. See, there's not a potato. Well, one broke off. Let's see. We may have 1 or 2 in this one. Maybe I'm pulling them too soon. I don't know. But there was one of some kind. I don't know if it was a little one or what. It was here. It might have been real deep. Yep, there's a potato. Look at there. We found a potato here. It's a little one, but it's a potato. And like I said, I'm not sure this is the right time to pull them. I might be jumping the gun. I should have left them out here longer. Oh no. I think the next time I plant sweet potatoes, I'm going to put them in a raised bed. Because these totes are for something that requires a lot of water. And I don't think those sweet potatoes require too much water. I mean, I may be wrong. Like I said, I've never... See, there's one. Look at that. We got sweet potatoes, y'all. They're little ones, but hey, that's a sweet potato. And like I said, I probably pulling them too soon. I was afraid if I left them that they'd freeze and then they'd be ruined if there was any in here. But some people leave their sweet potato vines in the ground all year. And they just dig under them. And they produce sweet potatoes all year. I mean, they'll come back up and produce sweet potatoes again the following year, and they don't have to replant them. But it's a little bit different when you're planting in a tote. Well, at least we know we can grow sweet potatoes in a tote. I think I didn't leave them long enough. Or maybe I didn't get them in the ground soon enough. because I was kind of late getting my slips in the ground, so. Well, that's promising. I got 2 out of that one. Maybe I got 3 or 4 out of this other one. We'll see. That one there. And like I said, there may be more down in the very bottom. That's what happened to me with the white potatoes. I had to dump the tote to get the sweet potatoes that were down in the bottom. But I can't leave these sweet potato vines here because they'll take root all over the yard by next year. Then I'll have a yard full of sweet potato vines. And I definitely don't want that. That's a tomato. Ooh, I just dug into something. Look at there, y'all. A sweet potato. I stuck my deal in it. Yeah, I think I waited too late to get them in the ground or get them planted in the totes. I think if I'd have got them planted sooner, they'd have produced bigger sweet potatoes and a lot more of them by now. Ooh, I just hit something else down in there. I don't know what, but it sounded like a potato. Or it could have been. Or maybe it was just a root. But I bought a couple of sweet potatoes last week because I took a notion I wanted to bake, have a baked sweet potato. Maybe for Thanksgiving Day. Now there's something else down in this one. Let me get over here so I can dig it up. Because my little pitchfork thing went in something. And it might have been a log that hadn't broke down yet or something. I don't know. Yeah, that's what it was. I thought it might have been a potato. So you can grow them in a tote, but you need more dirt in it than what I put in these. And you need to plant them earlier so they have time to grow and get harvesting size by this time of year. I was too late getting mine in the ground, and planted in these totes, I think. They didn't have enough time to get very big. And I planted, I don't know, like 3 different kinds of sweet potatoes. But yeah, I think the sweet potatoes would do real good in a raised bed if you have one. And plant them earlier than what I did this year. I waited too late. Or I didn't get my slips till too late, put it that way. When you plant a garden, you got to be mindful of the time of the year you plant it, how much time it has to produce fully. until the first freeze. And since our first freeze is going to be this week, I needed to go ahead and get these out now. If there was any in here, or they would have froze. So, but at least those are some nice looking little sweet potatoes there. And I'd have had a lot more and they'd have been a lot bigger. Like I said, if I'd have got them planted sooner. By the time I got my slips and got them planted in the totes, they didn't have enough time to grow the sweet potatoes and mature them. You know, by this week. You know, this is going to be what? The last week in November. It's the 25th today. So, yeah, I mean, don't be afraid to plant them in a tote but go ahead and fill it on up. Don't do like half of a tote like I did. Fill it up to the top, just about an inch or two from the top. And plant your sweet potatoes. Even better, plant them in the ground or plant them in a raised bed if you got a small raised bed. I think they do real good in a raised bed. So, yeah, that ends my curiosity. I just had to see if I had any sweet potatoes, and I see I've got 4 of them. So, I'm tickled to death over the 4 the first go round. I'll know what to do next year. Get them early. Get them planted early so they have time to produce before the first freeze comes around. But yeah, those are pretty little potatoes. I mean, hey, they'll be good to bake them with my other potatoes when I bake them. And like I said, if you're going to plant them in a raised bed. Or if you want to plant them in a tote, go ahead and plant them in a tote. But plant them early. A lot earlier than I did this year. I don't even remember what date it was that I planted them. But I was wondering if they were going to have time to mature. You know, produce potatoes and get any size. And I see, you know, they tried to produce. Little buddy, would you please leave my tripod alone? He's bumping into the tripod. He said, well, you're ignoring me. He says, you're ignoring me. I have to bump the tripod to get your attention. Yeah, he's got to bump the tripod to get attention. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get these vines in my fire pit. I'm going to put the stakes back in a couple of these totes so Lucky doesn't get up in them and lay down and go to sleep. Because that dirt is wet. He don't need to be in wet dirt. And they'll be ready to plant in the spring because, you know, I had put all kind of stuff in there to break down to make good soil. So those are going to be some good soil totes by this spring. There's Lucky. He had to come see what's going on too. My 2 fur babies. 2 fur babies. They say, yeah, it's cold out here today. Probably feels a little good to them with all that fur they got on them. What do you think, Lucky? Huh, kitty? Huh, kitty? What do you think? He says, are you fixing to give me something else to eat? I've only fed them 3 times this morning. I gave them food twice, and I gave them treats 1.5 times, basically. What? What? You talking? Are you talking? They talk to me. Well, y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see you later. Please like, share, and subscribe to my videos, and see you on the next one. Bye now. Love y'all.